Hello everybody, this is Pastor Green. We're doing another Bible study, 1 Kings chapter 14. If you'd like me to come speak at your church, or if you have any questions, email me at godsohman@gmail.com. So when it comes to Israel, you got to figure out exactly how small it is. This is Israel compared to the United States. Obviously the yellow is the United States and the blue area is going to be Israel. Israel's about the size of New Jersey, if you guys can put that in the picture. Israel is about 8,550 square miles. Alabama has about 52,000 square miles, and you would get 6 Israels inside of Alabama. That's how small it is. We ended 1 Kings 13 by saying, after this thing, Jeroboam returned not from his evil ways, but made again the lowest of the people priests of the high places. Whosoever would, he consecrated him, and he became one of the priests of the high places. And this thing became sin unto the house of Jeroboam, even to cut it off, and destroy it from the face of the earth. He didn't do what the elders told him to do, and he decided just to keep doing evil things. Romans 6 it says, Know ye not that whom ye yield yourselves servants to obey, his servants ye are to will whom ye obey, whether of sin to death or obedience unto righteousness. You can choose to just keep sinning and you're eventually gonna die. But if you're obedient and righteous, then you're gonna have a good life. 1 John 5 says, If any man sees his brother sin a sin which is not unto death, he shall ask, and he shall give him life for them that sin not unto death. There is a sin unto death. I do not say that he shall pray for it. All unrighteousness is sin, and there is not a sin unto death. And there is a sin unto death. If you sin so much, God might take you early. So we're going to go to 1 Kings 14 with verse 1. This is at that time, Abihab, the son of Jeroboam, fell sick. And Jeroboam said unto his wife, Arise, I pray ye, and disguise thyself, and thou be not known to be the wife of Jeroboam, and get ye to Shiloh. Behold, there is Elijah the prophet. And he told me that I shall be king over his people. And take thee with thee 10 loaves and crackles and cruse of honey, and go to him, and shall tell him ye what I shall become the child. And Jeroboam's wife did so, and arose and went to Shiloh, and came to the house of Eliha. But Eliha could not see, for his eyes were set by reason of his age. Jeroboam knew that Eliha could not see very well, so he told his wife to disguise himself, so he can get a blessing for his sick child. The wife, obviously not having really any options, decided to go ahead and dress herself, differently, and go see this prophet. And the Lord said unto Eliha, Behold, the wife of Jeroboam cometh to ask a thing of thee for her son, for he is sick. Thus and thus shall I say unto her, for it shall be when she cometh that she shall feign herself to be another woman. And it was so, when Eliah heard the sound of her feet, and came to the door, that he said, Come in, thou wife of Jeroboam. Why feignest thyself to be another woman? For I am sent to thee with heavy tidings. He wanted her to know that he already knew that she was coming to talk to him about her son, and there was no reason for her to disguise herself. Go tell Jeroboam, thus saith the Lord, the God of Israel, For as much as I exalted thee from among the people, and made thee prince over thy people Israel, and rent the kingdom away from the house of David, and gave it to thee, yet thou hast not been my servant, as my servant David, who kept my commandments, and who followed me with all my heart, and to do only which was right in mine eyes. You see, Eliha told Jeroboam, David and Solomon really made this place a godly place, and you're making a lot of mistakes. I'm going to separate the kingdoms, and I'm going to give Rehoboam one, and I'm going to give you another one. And I really need you to change your ways. I really need you to start acting like your father David and Solomon did. And Jeroboam didn't listen. And he's telling him again, this is a warning. I'm telling you not to do this. But hast done evil above all that were before thee, for thou hast gone and made thee other gods and molten images to provoke me to anger, and hast cast me behind thy back. He's making all these other gods around him, for the nations around him, and he's really hurting God's feelings. Therefore, behold, I will bring evil upon the house of Jeroboam, and I will cut off Jeroboam him for the pieces of the wall, and him that shut up and left Israel, and will take away the remnant of the house of Jeroboam, as a man taketh away the dung, till it all be gone. When you clean a horse's stall, you have to continually clean it over and over and over again to make sure you got every little bit of dung in there, or else it'll start to go bad. He's going to take Israel and he's going to keep removing more and more and more of it until there's nothing left. Him that dieth in Jeroboam in the city shall the dogs eat, and him that dieth in the field shall the fowls of the air eat. For the Lord has spoken it. Arise ye therefore, and get thee to thy own house, and when thy feet enter the city, the child shall die. He's telling the wife, you made a mistake, you tell your husband this is what's going on, and before you even get home, the child's going to be dead. And all Israel shall mourn for him, and bury him, for he is only Jeroboam shall come to the grave. Because in him, the child, there is found some good things towards the Lord, God of Israel, the house of Jeroboam. Moreover, the Lord shall raise him up as the king of Israel, who shall be cut off from the house of Jeroboam that day. But what even now? When God has had enough, he's had enough. God had enough and sent Noah's flood. God had enough and confused the languages during the Tower of Babel. And after the tribulation, God will say, I've had enough, and he's going to send his wrath. For the Lord shall smite Israel, and a reed is shaken in the water, and he shall root up Israel out of the good land, which he gave to their fathers, and shall scatter them beyond the river, because they have made their groves, provoking the Lord to anger. If you look at this chart here, these are different times that Israel got put into captivity. They got spread all over the Middle East, just like he said, they will be shattered all over the place. And he shall give Israel up because of the sins of Jeroboam, who did sin, and who made Israel to sin. And Jeroboam's wife arose and departed, and came to Tiraz, and when she came to the threshold of the door, the child died. Then they buried him, and all of Israel mourned for him, according to the words of the Lord, which he spoke by the hands of the servant Elijah the prophet. And the rest of the acts of Jeroboam, how he wearied and how he reigned, behold, they are written in the book of the Chronicles of the Lord of Israel, the king of Israel. And the days which Jeroboam reigned were 22 years, and he slept with his fathers, and Nadab his son reigned in his stead. You got to look at the kings and the prophets. You see, the Chronicles and the Kings follow the same type of timeline. You have one that follows both the northern and southern kingdom, and one that pretty much only covers the northern kingdom. Here's Solomon, and here's Rehoboam, and here's Jeroboam. And after Jeroboam died, Nahab took over. And you can see here the kingdom of Israel on top, which was Rehoboam's, and the king of Judah on the bottom, which was Jeroboam's. And it was split in two. The kingdom of Israel on top, king of Judah on the bottom. You can see the Palestine state on the side here, the kingdom of Moab, the kingdom of Ammon, the kingdom of Edom. And all these different places are still fighting the land today. There's all these different wars going on because everybody's trying to destroy Israel. They've been warring for thousands of years. And Rehoboam the son of Solomon reigned in Judah. Rehoboam was 41 years old when he began to reign, and he reigned 17 years in Jerusalem, the city which the Lord did chose out of all the tribes of Israel, to put his name there. And his mother's name was Naam, and one of the Ammonites. And Judah did evil in the sight of the Lord, and they provoked him to jealousy with their sins which they had committed, above all their fathers had done. For they also built them high places and images and groves in every high hill and under every green tree. And they were also Sodomites in the land, and they did according to all the abominations of the nations which the Lord cast out before the children of Israel. God basically says, my patience is wearing thin. All throughout the Bible, it talks about waiting on the Lord. You have to try to follow the Lord's commandments, even if you think He's taking too long. You got to wait on the Lord. And it came to pass in the 5th year of King Rehoboam that Shushan, the king of Egypt, came up against Jerusalem. He took away the treasures of the house of the Lord, the treasures of the king's house, and even took away all, which he had took away the shields of gold which Solomon had made. And King Rehoboam made in their stead brazen shields, and committed them to the hands of the chief of the guards, which kept the doors of the king's house. And it was so, when the king went to the house of the Lord, that the guards bare them, and brought them back to the guard's chamber. Now the rest of the acts of Rehoboam and all that he did are not written in the book of the Chronicles of the kings of Judah. And there was war between Rehoboam and Jeroboam in all their days. You can see here that First Solomon talks about King Saul, Second Solomon talks about King David, First Chronicles talks about King David, King Solomon's in both Kings and Second Chronicles, King Ahaz in Kings and Second Chronicles. But the kings of Israel and Judah are in Kings, but the kings of just Judah is in Chronicles. And you got to try to see how you can synchronize the two. So Solomon reigns going to be in 1 Kings chapter 1 through 11, and 2 Chronicles chapters 1 through 9. And then after Solomon is 1st and 2nd Kings and all of Chronicles. So Kings is looking at the kings of Israel and Judah, and Chronicles only looks at the kings of Judah. And you can see here the history of Israel. Genesis through 2 Kings is kind of their history. Then there was 70 years of captivity, which is talking about during David. And then Ezra and Nehemiah comes in later to try to last ditch effort to get the kingdom back. And then there's 400 years of silence in the New Testament. And over the next 200 years, Israel had 19 bad kings in a row, and they got sent to Assyria. And over the next 336 years, Judah had 20 kings, 12 were bad, and 8 was good, and they got sent off to Babylon. And you can see here in 1722 BC, the northern king of Israel got taken to Assyria. And in 586 BC, Jerusalem taken and the temple destroyed by Babylon. And Rehoboam slept with his fathers and was buried in the fathers of the city of David. And his mother's name was Naam, and Amnitis. And Abjam, his son, reigned in his stead. And you can see on this map of Israel here all the different kingdoms we talked about before. The Ammonitis, the king of Ammon, is over here. And you can see the Ammon, what it looks like back then. It was Ammon, and this is the shape that it was. And today, as you can see, it's modern-day Jordan. And all these different countries all around Israel have been fighting for a long time. And I looked up how many times was Israel attacked. It says during its long history, Jerusalem has been attacked 52 times, captured and recaptured 44 times, besieged 23 times, and destroyed twice. And you can see here all the different wars, Jordan and his allies, and every single time their opponent was Israel. And you can look up the list of wars involving Israel. And you can see right here on the map, this is what Israel is supposed to look like according to the Bible, but it's just that little brown section up there on the top right now. But this is what the borders of Israel are supposed to look like. Hope you guys will like the video. Make sure you like, subscribe, comment, share it with your friend. The bottom right of the screen, I'm going to put the 1 Kings Bible Study. Top left of the screen is going to be the Exodus Bible Study. And the bottom left is going to be a video YouTube things you're going to like. I appreciate you guys watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Have a great day.